Welcome to Backyard Blinking. My name is Charles. I'll be your host as we go through and explore everything BB and pellet related, from air pistols to air rifles, targets, ammo. Today, targets specifically. This is a pellet trap. It's made by Gamo, and I'm a pretty cheap guy, so if I bought it, it's somewhere around $20–25 range. There's 5 targets in here. The one that's in the center is a reset for the other 4. They are all steel swinging targets. Once you hit one, there's a small lever in the back that will hold it in place until you reset it. I've got several CO2 pellet pistols out here and a couple of pellet rifles. Notice I said pellet, not BB. Don't ever shoot BBs at anything that can't absorb the energy or redirect it. This would be a bad idea. I suggest strongly you don't do that. You can if you want to, but that's only half a sentence. The other half is without me in it, because it's just don't. Anyway, I'm going to take this and set it up. We've got a block over here. I'm going to set it up on the side of that block. We're at about 6 yards, something like that. The 4 CO2 pistols that I brought out, all the cartridges are at various stages of being depleted. So you'll be able to see the change from one to the other, because you'll be able to see the targets react. Well, it didn't go all the way up and lock in. And some of them, if you get a little glancing blow or something like that, sometimes won't be enough pressure to hold it back up into place. But I figured this would be fun. This is something that you can pick up. You can pull it right off of the shelf at your favorite retailer or sporting goods store, and it's nice to have. Once the pellets strike this, of course, they collapse. They fall down into the bottom. You can pick it up and dispose of them as you wish. So give me a minute. Let me set this thing up, and we'll come back and we'll take some shots at it. All right, there it is. One Gamo pellet trap with resettable targets. Now, out of the 4 CO2 pellet pistols I have on the table, all the CO2 cartridges are in a different state of discharge. So I'm sure that we'll probably come across one that doesn't have enough energy to force the target up and make it lock into place. This, on the other hand, will do it every time. Might have to come back to that as a confidence builder. Now, I want to show you something real quick, and then a disclaimer. T4, this will work. The width of the front sight is pretty wide. Those 2 small round targets that are on there are pretty small. At about 6 yards, they almost disappear sometimes. Now, if you're using a pistol like this, or like the Iceman, or even a Vigilante or something like that has the wide front sight on it, feel free. You can move that pellet trap back, because even at about 3 yards, once that pellet strikes the target or the inside of the trap, it collapses, and that's it. It's done. No more inertia. It just falls into place. Now, most of the air rifles have a smaller front sight that's on there. Much better sight picture, even for the small round targets. So even at a distance, best choice. Now, the disclaimer. This is probably really the first time I've been out in the backyard and been able to do anything since the impromptu trip, the hurricane, the career change, all of that stuff. I might miss the whole thing. Feel free to laugh. It's okay. I got it. I understand. So, now all that's over, can we begin now? Still laughing, aren't you? Well, you will be, probably. Start with the Iceman. Now, the two larger targets I have up, and I did that for a reason, just so that the two smaller ones would really stand out. So we're going to bring the two large ones down first, and then we'll go from there. I hope. One. Yep. All right. Let's try one of the little fellas. Plenty. All right. Oh, there goes all my confidence. Yeah, that's all right. See if we can get that back real quick. Feel much better. Try the Vigilante. Now, see, it's one of the ones that has a very large front sight on it, so that small target is almost going to disappear. About right. So we start over again. CO2 is almost out on that one. A couple of times they hit the small one and it just would bounce like that. Wouldn't come back into play. P4. You just almost can't even see them through that wide front sight. Let's try the Gamo. P25 blowback. Does have a smaller front sight on it. It's a little easier to be able to get at least some kind of a target acquisition. We're out. Told you I was rusty. Anyway, that little pellet trap right there, I mean, that's something that's great that you can set up. Get it right in front of a backstop, you know, if you have younger individuals that you're going through and trying to shoot. And the little targets like that will really make you pay attention to what you're doing, make you concentrate on a sight picture and stuff like that. Because they're reactive and you can really see what's going on, it beats the heck out of shooting a paper target. And for 20, 25 bucks, it's well worth it. It's pretty well made. It's fairly heavy, so pretty good deal. Till next time, my name is Charles. It's been Backyard Blinking.